Hey Sam, just coming back to you on your power cleans. I just thought it'd be easier to give you a video feedback on this. So let me just move my head and make me a little bit larger. I'll pop this up on YouTube and then I'll send you the link over. So let's just watch this through. I love the loud metal music there. Let's go through that last one. Cool. So first things first, I think you selected the right weight because at that weight you're just starting to slow down on these triples. I gave you drop and goes, and that's exactly what these are. So good job there. I don't want them to be touch and goes. Remember, we're running power accumulation because we're trying to give you some more speed and speed strength in your rowing. That's what we want you to do. And so the power clean is just effectively a really, really heavy weighted row. When we did that PT, we talked about moving your feet, which you're doing. So your feet are moving, which is good. We talked about keeping your chest up and your back straight, which it is, but I'll just talk about that in just a second of what we need to correct here. And we talked about that acceleration curve and how it should be a squeeze. You used to kind of accelerate up, slow down, and then pop through. And you're a lot smoother here, which is good. So there's a couple of things to tidy up going into next week. Firstly, your knees are coming in, which you didn't do on that PT that we had. Either bring your feet in slightly, or just make sure that the knees aren't going to touch here. You can see that's a broken position. You wouldn't sit on the rower here. And you wouldn't deadlift here, so don't power clean here. Make sure those knees are tracking out over your toes. Secondly, I call it stripper butt. Your butt's just going up slightly early above your chest. So if I pull the camera down, on that power clean, you're pulling your butt up and then you're coming through. What you want to be doing is as you come up, that angle comes up at the same manner. So as the bar comes up to your toes, your chest and back are at the same level. At the moment, your butt's just going up early. And again, you can watch it. This lift you probably did at the most. You go just up with your butt just a bit early. So at this point, you want the chest to come up at the same time. So going into next week, I'm just going to shut down your video. Going into next week, your programming is very similar because you do well through just linear progressions. And you have a few things that we really want to work on and not a lot of time in the week to do it, which just means we need to keep on hitting it week by week. Next week we've got squats, again, tempo 5 on 1. So just make sure you're going down nice and slow with control. Glute bridges to keep on developing some hamstrings, and then a little bit of core work. Seated box jumps will underpin your power cleans. Power cleans will underpin your row. And then some mixed modal where the limiting factor is your aerobic system. Wednesday is just rowing repeats again. Now, just to be clear on these pacing, your pace should be off what your average rate is on your 2K because it's a 2K rowing accumulation. So even if you feel like you could go harder, and even if you feel like you could drive that down to a 145, 146, don't right now. Keep it at a 147 to 150. Try and maintain a really even pace. So I'm not too fussed about how low you go. I'm more interested in how well you can maintain those splits. And on the 9th round, you don't want to be collapsed on the floor where you had to sprint it. You want to go off, feel that you've had a good workout, but probably be able to do a 10th if you could. That's why I've given you these pacings. When we come to repeat your 2K, I'll give you the pace that I want you to go at to begin with, which will be the exact pace we've been doing these on. And then in the last 500, you should feel like you've got a lot left, and you'll be able to drive down that last 500. And that'll be our strategy going into your test. Next Saturday, same thing again, exactly the same workout because it's perfect for you right now. More glute bridges, more monster walks. Those monster walks should have opened up your hips a little bit. So I'm surprised I saw those knees come in for the first time. So let's chalk that out. Let's get that out of your programming quickly. I'm interested in what you look like on your seated good mornings. So if you can video that for me and send it across, that'd be awesome. And then power cleans, we're going to repeat exactly the same as we did this Saturday, but take away those points of performance I just sent over to you, and let's see if we can tidy it up a little bit. I want you to not drive your knees in, so keep your knees out over your toes and work on trying to keep that chest up a little bit as you go through that first pull. Apart from that, seems like you had a great training week. If you want a fourth session next week, let me know. I've given you your rest days of Tuesday and Thursday, but if you want to and Saturday and Sunday. But if you want to train on any of those days, just ping me across a message, and I'll program something out that's a little bit different than what we have been doing the last few weeks. Cheers, mate.